The trailer doesn't just play, it haunts. It begins like a whisper from the past, dragging you back into the world you thought you'd escaped. For a moment, the screen is nothing but smoke, drifting slowly over charred earth. Then, faintly, the sound of a heartbeat emerges. One beat, then another. The rhythm quickens as light pierces through the darkness, revealing what looks like the ruins of the royal citadel, silent, lifeless, but somehow breathing. The camera pans across broken banners still clinging to shattered walls, and carved into the stone, the same words we heard at the end of Season 1. The blood remembers. It's more than a tagline, it's a prophecy fulfilled. Then everything changes. A flash of lightning reveals a figure standing at the heart of the ruins, cloaked in black armor that gleams like oil. The air feels heavy, almost sacred. It's not just another warrior, it's someone we've been waiting for. Fans recognize the blade first, the same weapon wielded by Lord Edrin before his fall. But this time, the hand that holds it is smaller, younger. The heir has returned. The moment lasts less than 2 seconds, but it's enough to send chills down your spine. The screen cuts to black, and a voice murmurs, "The throne is empty, but not forgotten." The next sequence is pure chaos, a montage that feels like a fever dream. Soldiers in blackened armor march through snow. The northern mountains, once calm, are now burning under a crimson sky. In one blink, we see the Witch Queen's sigil burst into flames. In another, Lyra's face, pale and tear-streaked, stares into the distance. The voiceover repeats one line again and again, growing louder each time. The bloodline has awakened. The pacing is relentless. Each image, each sound, feels like it's building toward something inevitable. Every frame hides a secret. Every second feels like it could be the key to everything we've been waiting for, but it's the smaller moments that hit the hardest. A brief shot of 2 children standing by a river, holding hands. The glow of a torch reflected in their eyes. The way one whispers, "Don't let them find us." It's tender, innocent, yet terrifying, because we already know what happens to innocence in Valen. It doesn't survive. Then, we see the Queen's pendant again, lying half buried in snow, its gemstone cracked but still glowing faintly. The camera lingers just long enough for viewers to notice something impossible, the reflection of a face within the gem. A face that looks like the Queen's, but twisted, darker, older. Theories have exploded online since that frame dropped. Could the Queen still be alive, reborn through the curse she tried to destroy? Or has her spirit returned to protect the heir she lost? Midway through the trailer, the tempo shifts. The sound of a war horn echoes across an empty battlefield. Dust rises, the horizon burns. And then, out of the haze, hundreds of soldiers emerge, led by a figure draped in red, the same color that once marked betrayal. The scene is breathtaking, chaotic, yet elegant, every frame dripping with despair and defiance. There's no dialogue, only the sound of wind and fire. It's a visual poem about power, survival, and the curse that binds them all. For a moment, the red figure turns toward the camera, and though the face is hidden by a mask, you can feel the hatred radiating from them. This is not a new villain, it's someone who's been here before, someone who was left behind. As the final act of the trailer begins, the music slows to a heartbeat again. The tone shifts from fury to fate. We see flashes of every major character: Edrin's tomb, Lyra's tears, the heir's sword rising into the light. Then, the sky splits open in fire. The screen fills with silhouettes of ravens flying over burning fields. And the narrator's voice returns one last time. The debt of blood must be paid. The sound is low, trembling, ancient. It feels less like dialogue and more like a curse being spoken into existence. Then comes the moment everyone will remember. A door carved with runes slowly opens, light flooding through as the music falls silent. A single drop of blood lands on stone. It spreads, forming the sigil of Valen once more. The camera zooms in as the blood twists into words. Season 2. The letters ignite, burning brighter until they explode into red light that fills the entire screen. When the glow fades, only one message remains, simple, clear, and final. It begins. The trailer fades to black, leaving you with nothing but the echo of that heartbeat. It doesn't end, it lingers, like a promise, like a warning. Fans sit frozen, knowing they've just witnessed the rebirth of something far greater than they expected. Every frame feels alive with purpose. Every image begs to be rewound, dissected, studied. This isn't just a trailer, it's a message from the creators. The story you thought had ended has only just awakened. The bloodline lives, the curse breathes, and the war for the throne of Valen begins anew. And in that final heartbeat, one truth becomes clear: this season won't just tell a story, it will draw blood. It finally happens, the moment every fan has been waiting for. The music slows, the chaos fades, and the screen turns black. A faint glow rises from the darkness, like the first spark of dawn after a long night. You can feel it coming. The tension builds with each passing second, every heartbeat echoing louder than the last. And then, there it is, a single drop of blood hits the floor, spreading in slow motion, forming the sigil of Valen once more. The audience holds its breath. Time seems to stop. A voice, soft but steady, whispers, "The wait ends soon." And then, in blazing letters of crimson flame, the truth burns across the screen. Season 2 premieres this winter. The world reacts in seconds. Within moments, every corner of the internet bursts into life. Fans scream, creators post reactions, and the air is filled with that electric kind of joy only a long-awaited return can bring. But the trailer doesn't stop there. It's not satisfied with a date. No, it leaves you with something more powerful. A feeling. That sense that something truly epic is about to unfold. The music rises again. Strings and drums blending into a single pulse that feels alive. The screen flashes between faces, some new, some hauntingly familiar, and the final scene shows the heir standing before a throne made of iron and ash. The light flickers across their eyes, revealing both fear and fury. Then the voice returns, deeper now, almost godlike. This time, the blood runs deeper. That's the line that breaks the internet. It's the kind of phrase that becomes legend overnight, fans quoting it, remixing it, making it their new mantra. It isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. The showrunners know exactly what they're doing. They're telling us that this season won't just continue the story, it'll dig into its veins, its origins, its forgotten sins. Every drop of blood spilled in Season 1 meant something, and in Season 2, we'll finally see why. The release date reveal doesn't just tell us when the story returns, it tells us how it will return. Darker, bolder, and unafraid of its own shadows. But even beyond the visuals and the words, there's something else, something subtle. For a fraction of a second after the release date flashes, an unfamiliar symbol appears in the corner of the screen. It's easy to miss, but the fans didn't. A circle divided by 3 crimson lines, glowing faintly before vanishing. Theories explode instantly. Is it the mark of the lost heir, the emblem of a new house, or perhaps the sign of the gods who cursed Valen in the first place? The creators have given just enough to feed the fire, and they know it. Every mystery left dangling feels intentional. Every clue a deliberate invitation to look closer. As the trailer ends, the last sound we hear isn't music, or war, or even dialogue. It's a heartbeat, slow, steady, defiant. It's the sound that began Season 1, the rhythm that marked every death, every vow, every rise and fall of power. It reminds us that this story, at its core, has always been alive. That heartbeat doesn't just belong to the characters, it belongs to the fans, to the world that has been waiting to return to Valen. The screen fades to black, but the echo continues, as if the world itself is whispering the same words over and over. The blood remembers. And just like that, anticipation transforms into obsession. The countdown begins. Every fan now has a date circled in red, waiting for the day the curse awakens again. Forums fill with frame-by-frame analyses. Theories run wild about who will rise, who will fall, and who will pay the ultimate price. Some say the heir will reclaim the throne. Others believe the blood curse will consume them all. But everyone agrees on one thing. Blood of My Blood is coming back, not as a show, but as a reckoning. This is more than a release, it's a return to the story that refused to die. The fires that once burned Valen to ashes are ready to rise again. Every secret buried in the first season will claw its way back to the surface. Every drop of blood spilled will finally find its answer. And when that long-awaited day arrives, one truth will echo across the kingdom and beyond. Blood is not just legacy, is destiny. The wait is finally over. After months of silence, whispers have turned into thunder. The kingdom that once bled in darkness is ready to rise again. Blood of My Blood, Season 2 is not just coming, it's roaring back with vengeance. Fire, and secrets buried too deep to stay hidden. Every unanswered question, every broken promise, every lost soul is about to return for judgment. The trailer has dropped, and it changes everything. You thought you knew how this story ended, but you were wrong. The bloodline runs deeper than ever before, and this time, no one is safe. It begins with the sound of wind whispering through the ruins of what once was a kingdom. The ashes of fallen warriors still stain the earth, their blood long dried but never forgotten. The prophecy spoke of a time when the heirs of the fallen would rise again, bound not by loyalty but by vengeance. And now, that time has come. The silence that followed the Great War was never Pasit, was only the calm before the storm. Season 2 brings that storm, darker and more relentless than before. It takes everything you remember from Season 1, the betrayal, the war, the broken crown, and turns it into something far more dangerous. The trailer opens with flickers of light, shadows moving across stone walls marked with blood-red symbols. A familiar voice echoes faintly, whispering, "We were born from fire, and to fire we shall return." The tone is heavy, almost sorrowful, as if the world itself knows it's standing on the edge of destruction. The scenes shift quickly, crowds running, banners burning, and soldiers clashing under a crimson sky. The world of Valen feels alive again, but it's no longer the same world we left behind. The heroes we once trusted have changed, and the villains we feared may not be what they seemed. There's a deep sense of loss hanging in the air. You can almost feel the weight of everything that has been lost, the friendships, the trust, the love, that once held the kingdom together. But among that pain, something new is forming. The bloodline is awakening. A forgotten heir, a child of shadows, steps into the light for the first time. The trailer doesn't show their face, only the outline of a figure cloaked in black, standing before the burning ruins of a temple. And then, just as the flames begin to die, a single word appears: return. It's more than a promise, it's a warning. The world of Blood of My Blood is not offering redemption, it's demanding revenge. Every character, every storyline, every lie told in Season 1 is returning to face its truth. And from the look of it, truth will not be kind. The music swells, the screen fades to darkness, and for a heartbeat, everything stops. Then, one sound breaks through a slow, steady heartbeat. That's when you realize, the story isn't over. It's only just begun again. The story of Blood of My Blood began with a kingdom drenched in glory and deceit, a land that worshipped power more than peace. Season 1 took us deep into the heart of Valuna, place where every oath had a cost and every crown carried a curse. The king's death was not the end, it was the spark that lit the wildfire. Brothers turned on brothers, lovers became enemies, and the throne that once stood tall was drowned in the blood of those who swore to protect it. Every decision made in Season 1 carved a wound that still bleeds. And in Season 2, those scars are ready to open again. It all started with the fall of House Terran, once proud, now ruined by its own ambition. Lord Idrin believed he could rewrite destiny, but destiny had already written him out. When his own kin betrayed him, the entire realm trembled. The rebellion that followed tore families apart, leaving no one untouched. The queen's secret child vanished in the chaos. And whispers spread of a blood heir who would one day reclaim the throne. That mystery became the heartbeat of the series, the unanswered question that kept fans awake long after the credits rolled. Who was the heir? And what price would they pay to return? Then came the turning point, the night of the Crimson Eclipse. A night when the moon bled red and the world seemed to stop breathing. Armies clashed under a sky painted with fire. It was the night of betrayal, the night the true enemy revealed themselves, not with a sword, but with a smile. The council was poisoned, the citadel burned, and the prophecy was fulfilled in the most twisted way imaginable. The final scene still echoes in the minds of every fan. The king's banner falling, the flames rising, and a voice whispering, "The blood remembers." That was the moment we knew Season 1 had ended, not with closure but with a curse. The beauty of Blood of My Blood was never in its battles alone, it was in the choices, the quiet moments before the storm. The bond between Idrin and Lyra, once unbreakable, shattered like glass. The general who swore loyalty to the throne vanished into exile, and rumors of his return shadow every conversation in the new season. Even the witches of the northern mountains, who once served as protectors, turned away, their chants now warnings instead of blessings. Every alliance broke, every promise burned, until only one truth remained: there is no peace without sacrifice. Now, as we step into Season 2, those memories rise again like ghosts. The trailer shows fragments of the past, echoes of screams, flashes of faces long thought dead. It's as if the story itself refuses to stay buried. Fans can see the same golden pendant from the Queen's chamber hanging from a new hand, hinting that the heir we once lost has finally returned. But in Blood of My Blood, nothing ever returns the same. Every survivor has changed, every soul is darker, every heart beats not with hope but with revenge. Season 1 ended on a blade's edge. Season 2 begins with that blade drawn. The past is no longer history, it's a weapon. The war that once tore the world apart is coming again, and this time, it will not end in betrayal alone. It will end in blood. The blood of kings, the blood of traitors. The blood of my blood. The silence is broken. After endless rumors, fan theories, and sleepless nights spent scouring the internet for clues, the truth finally stands before us. The creators of Blood of My Blood have spoken, and what was once a whisper has become a roar heard across every corner of the fandom. Season 2 is officially confirmed. The announcement did not arrive with fanfare, it arrived like a blade drawn under moonlight, sharp, sudden, and unforgettable. For months, audiences begged for answers, clinging to fragments of interviews and cryptic teasers, but now the curtain has lifted. The bloodline returns, and the world of Valen will bleed once more. It wasn't a tweet, it wasn't a leak, it wasn't a vent. The reveal dropped without warning, a short message paired with a symbol only true fans would recognize, the sigil of the phoenix rising through fire. Within minutes, the internet erupted, forums crashed, timelines flooded, and reaction videos lit up like wildfire. Fans who had spent years analyzing every frame of the finale now had one word to hold on to: confirmed. Yet, the simplicity of that word hides something deeper. The creators didn't just promise a return, they promised a transformation. This will not be the same story you remember. The tone, the stakes, the very soul of Blood of My Blood has evolved into something far more dangerous and intimate. The trailer itself, revealed alongside the announcement, is a masterclass in restraint and chaos. It begins in absolute silence. No music, no dialogue, just a flicker of fire against a black screen. Then, slowly, the shape of a crown forms, melted, twisted, and dripping blood like tears. A voice, soft and cold, speaks. We thought the curse was broken, but the blood remembers. The screen explodes into chaos battlefields, shrouded in smoke, cities falling, and eyes glowing in the darkness. Each shot feels like a memory trying to crawl back from the grave. The creators didn't just show us what's next, they reminded us what we lost. But the brilliance lies in the details. Hidden within the trailer are flashes that only the most dedicated fans would notice: a shattered sigil from the Queen's chamber, the reflection of a familiar dagger in a pool of blood, and the sound of a child's laughter echoing over ruins. These moments are not random, they are pieces of the puzzle, hints of what's to come. The child's voice is new, innocent, but filled with something ancient, something royal. Could it be the blood heir, finally stepping into destiny? Or is it something darker, memory reborn in flesh? The fandom is already at war with theories, each one more haunting than the last. Then, the scene shifts. A single figure stands before a throne made of charred bones. The same voice returns, this time trembling. You cannot kill what was promised in blood. The music swells, horns and drums pounding like the heartbeat of a god. And then, in one blazing instant, the title appears: Blood of My Blood, Season 2. The letters ignite and burn, leaving behind nothing but smoke and a single date carved in red. The release date, the moment that changes everything, the announcement, closes with a single shot, a hand, covered in ash, reaching toward the light. It's a metaphor for the entire series. No matter how deep the darkness, something always reaches out for redemption. But redemption comes at a price, and in Blood of My Blood, that price is always paid in full. As the screen fades to black, the voice whispers one final line: it begins again. That's when you realize this isn't just a return, it's a reckoning. The bloodline has awakened, and every sin of the past is calling for vengeance. Fans aren't just watching a fantasy series anymore. They're witnessing a legend resurrect itself from its own ashes. And this time, every drop of blood spilled will mean something. This isn't nostalgia. This isn't a sequel. This is destiny fulfilled.